When it comes to secrets, we can ask somewhat philosophically, when you share a secret, is it still a secret? Be that as it may, we all know that real estate is predicated upon passive income. And today I want to share with you the biggest secret to creating passive income in real estate. Before we even get started, let's talk about passive income. Some of you may be new to real estate, some of you might be experienced real estate investors. However, passive income is income that you earn without necessarily swapping time for it. So more specifically, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, yet some people are paid while they work and some people are paid while they sleep. We sometimes call it beach money. You could be on the beach reading a book and still getting paid. That's kind of cool. True wealth comes from when you attain passive income. But what is the secret to accumulating sources of passive income? That's what we're going to explore today. What is the secret to passive income? I'm going to explain it right away. It is leverage. Leverage is ultimately a way of creating passive income, but you must learn how to use leverage. Leveraging other people's time, leveraging other people's money and other people's skills is the greatest way to quickly build wealth. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, leverage, I'm a bit uncomfortable about that. I've heard about it. I don't know what it is. I think I should be careful. No, we're going to debunk those myths. Leverage is actually the best way for you to build passive income and to build wealth, and we're going to explore it here and now. Number one is you have to value your time. You know, time is the only thing we all get in equal quantity and proportion. And we have to be aware of that and realize that we can all do things that no one else can do. And by the way, everyone else on this planet can do something better than you. But when you've figured out what you can do better than many people on this planet, then you should develop that skill. So the first step in having good passive income is to have your own skill set. For example, if you're interested in real estate, get good at valuing and acquiring deals. Make sure that when you work for active income, it equates to your high standard of what your time is worth. So as an example that's somewhat embarrassing, I learned to type quite early on and I got pretty good at it. I could touch type. I didn't need to see the keyboard. And I used to have competitions in my office. We had 11 staff at one stage, and I said, anyone who can beat me at a typing competition, do it faster than I could, I'd take them to lunch. Now, I'd often take them to lunch anyway, but this was a little competition we had, and I never had to take anyone to lunch because they beat me at typing. I was the fastest typist in the office. And somewhat foolishly, therefore, I ended up doing a lot of the typing. And now, of course, I realized that it was a complete waste of my time and even my skill, because my time would have been better spent finding the next deal that we could acquire that might be worth $100,000 rather than competing with someone at $20 or $30 an hour to do a typing exercise. Make sure you know what your true skill set is and focus on that. And there's something else you can do with the skill set you're not so good at. Now, I may well have been a very good typist, but it was not a good use of my time. I had other skills that we could leverage more effectively. Once you niche down and find a skill that you're a master at, only do that one thing. For every other task, live up to the adage, if you want it done right, don't do it yourself. If you do commercial real estate, for instance, focus your time on finding lucrative deals and hire out managing them. Sometimes I get seduced into doing some aspect of management because I know, or I delude myself maybe, that I can do it better or faster or smarter than someone else. And in many cases that might be so. I remember we had a plumber come along and said that we had to put in this water overflow system to avoid backwash going back into the city main water pipe. And I said, well, I don't know if I really need that. He said, yes, I just checked with council. And I said, well, let me call the council. And I couldn't get through to the right people. And he said, all right, here's the contract. It will only cost you $3,750. And I thought, well, that's still quite a lot of money. I said, I want to wait until I get through to someone. And he was very pushy. Anyway, to keep the story short, eventually I got through to council and they said, no, it only applies to medical buildings, and our building wasn't a medical building. So in that instance, I did save the money and all the effort, of course. But what did it cost me? Maybe that day I could have found another building that was worth $500,000. Focus on what you're good at and hire out the rest. If leveraging your time is useful, then leveraging money is crucial. It's one of the reasons why real estate is such an extraordinarily good investment. So in addition to freeing up time by hiring out tasks, you can also accelerate your passive income journey by leveraging other people's money. In commercial real estate, a bank will typically lend you 60% of a property's value. And the thing is, you can fund the rest of it through private money. Now, I always say that the great thing about real estate, which doesn't apply to most other investments, is that you can get leverage. We've all seen billboards and ads and magazines and newspapers and on the internet saying, hey, are you thinking of buying a property? Come and see us. We'll give you the money to buy it. Banks want to give you money to buy real estate. They don't advertise and say, if you want to buy gold or silver or platinum or bonds or unit trusts or certificates of deposit or even shares, we'll give you the money to do it. They only do it on real estate. Now, I know some of you will be saying, well, I know someone who managed to get money to buy shares. Yes, it's called margin lending, and they only do it on a small proportion of the shares and a small proportion of investors. And if the value of the shares come down a bit, they do what's called a margin call. For most investors in the stock market, if they want $100,000 in the stock market, they have to put up $100,000 cash. Whereas when it comes to real estate, that same $100,000 cash, you could buy a $100,000 property, but you could buy a $200,000 property with a 50% mortgage, or a $500,000 property with an 80% mortgage, or a $1 million property with a $900,000 or 90% mortgage. Leverage is the thing that makes real estate so incredibly lucrative. So it's the one thing that you absolutely should engage to make sure your properties are very efficient. So what is the greatest secret to real estate? It's leverage. Leverage is what gives you passive income. Passive income is what enables you to amplify what you do, your skill set, and your energy to generate revenue for yourself. And passive income is never truly passive. Someone or something will have to fulfill the work being done to earn that income. However, with the right systems and leverage in place, your team will learn to operate independently from you, and you can enjoy the benefits of passive income by leveraging the time and skills of others. And let me give you a simple example. Just about every kid at some stage has had a lemonade stand, and let's say you sell the drinks at 50 cents or $1 a pop, and you might make $20 in an afternoon. That's pretty good for a kid. But some smart kids that I know have employed the neighbors' kids or their younger siblings to man or person the lemonade stand and do all the work while they're out there playing football or whatever with their buddies. That's another form of leverage. It's creative. The only challenge with that is eventually your neighbor's kids or your siblings are going to say, hey, why are we giving half the profits to him? We'll create our own. So the trick is to leverage a skill that is unique to you. And for me, that skill is in finding extraordinarily great real estate deals. And to help you on the way, I've written a number of books. And one of them that I've got, it's called Real Estate Riches. This will inspire you. It's not a how-to book, but it's a why-to book, just on why real estate is good, and it covers leverage as well. To get your free copy of this book, click the link below, and we will send it to you. You'll just pay postage and handling for the privilege, but we will get you this book, which will help you get inspired to figure out what your unique skill set is so that you can leverage that for financial freedom. Well, I hope you learned something about passive income, and I can tell you one thing. Once you've tasted passive income once, you will want to do it forevermore, and you'll want it to grow, because there's nothing like sitting on a beach reading a book or traveling somewhere or just sleeping in if you want to, and knowing that the income is still flowing. If you think you've learned something today, if you liked it, remember to subscribe and like and check out my next video.